Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Daily English Lab podcast. Right now, you're doing something that's destroying your English fluency, and you don't even realize it. Every single time you speak English, you're translating in your head first. And that's exactly why you sound slow, robotic, and unnatural. In the next 30 minutes, I'm going to show you the exact method my students use to stop translating and start thinking directly in English. This isn't theory. This isn't some vague advice like, just practice more. This is a step-by-step system that works. And by the end of this podcast, you'll know exactly how to rewire your brain to think in English automatically, without effort, without translation. I've taught over 12,000 students from 68 countries, and I can tell you this with absolute certainty. The students who master English fastest are not the ones who study the most grammar. They're the ones who stop translating. I've seen students go from painfully slow, hesitant speakers to confident, fluent communicators in just weeks by applying what I'm about to teach you today. Let me describe what happens in your brain right now when you try to speak English. Someone asks you a simple question. What did you do yesterday? And here's what happens inside your head. First, you hear the English words. Then, automatically, without thinking, your brain translates those words into your native language. Then, you think of your answer in your native language. Then, you translate that answer word by word back into English. Then you try to say it out loud. That's 4 steps. 4 entire steps before you even open your mouth. No wonder you feel slow. No wonder you hesitate. No wonder native speakers have already moved on to the next topic while you're still formulating your response. And here's the worst part. You know what you want to say. You have the thought. You have the idea, but by the time it goes through this translation process, it comes out wrong. It sounds stiff. It sounds unnatural. Have you ever had the perfect response in your head, but when you said it out loud, it just didn't sound right? That's the translation trap. Here's what most English teachers won't tell you. Translation isn't just slow. Translation is fundamentally broken as a method for fluency. Why? Because languages don't map one-to-one. There's no perfect translation for most thoughts. When you translate, you lose nuance. You lose naturalness. You end up speaking English with the grammar structure of your native language, and that's why it sounds foreign. Think about it. When you speak your native language, do you translate? Of course not. You just think and speak simultaneously. The thought and the words are the same thing. That's what we need to create in English. Let me give you a perfect example of why translation fails. In English, we say, I miss you. Now, depending on your language, you might translate this as, you are missed by me, or I have missing for you, or something else entirely. And technically, maybe that translation is correct word for word, but it sounds completely unnatural to a native English speaker. The truth is, fluent speakers don't translate. They never did. They can't even imagine translating because their brain is wired to think directly in the language they're speaking. And that's what we're going to build for you today. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds impossible. How can I think in a language that's not my native language? Great question. And the answer is going to surprise you. You already do it. You just don't realize it yet. Think about simple words you know really well. Words like hello, water, book, happy. When you hear the word water, do you translate it? Or do you just immediately understand it? You just know what it means, right? That's thinking in English. Your brain has connected the English word water directly to the concept of water. There's no translation step. So the question isn't, can I think in English? The question is, how do I expand this to all of English, not just the words I know really well? And that's exactly what I'm going to show you. But first, I need to show you the biggest mistake students make when they try to stop translating. Because if you make this mistake, nothing I teach you will work. Okay, here's the mistake. And I'm warning you, if you've been trying to think in English and failing, this is probably why. Most students try to stop translating by force. They tell themselves, don't translate, just think in English. And then they speak, and they're still translating, and they feel like failures. Here's why that doesn't work. Translation is a habit. It's automatic. You can't just turn it off by willpower alone. It's like trying to stop blinking. You can do it for a few seconds, but eventually your body takes over and you blink anyway.
The key to stopping translation isn't force, it's replacement. You have to replace the translation habit with a new habit, direct thinking. And the only way to do that is step by step, word by word, phrase by phrase. Here's the process, and this is crucial. Write this down. You can't think in English about everything all at once. That's too much. Instead, you choose one small area of your life, one topic, one situation, and you train your brain to think in English about that specific thing first. Then you expand. Then you add more. Then you grow. Let me show you what I mean. Let's say you want to think in English about your morning routine. Right now, when you wake up, you probably think in your native language. I need to get up, I'm tired, I need coffee. We're going to retrain your brain to think those exact thoughts in English automatically. Here's how. Step 1. Identify the thoughts you have most often. For your morning routine, it might be, I'm tired. I need coffee. I don't want to get up. What time is it? Step 2. Learn the English for those specific thoughts. Not word-by-word translation, the way natives actually express those thoughts. For example, natives don't say, I am having tiredness. They say, I'm exhausted, or I'm so tired, or I need more sleep. Step 3. Repeat those English thoughts out loud every single day during your morning routine. Force your brain to use English during that time. At first, this feels weird. It feels forced. You're still translating a little bit. But after a week, maybe 2 weeks, something magical happens. You wake up, and the thought, I'm so tired, appears in English, automatically, without translation. You didn't choose to think it in English. Your brain just did it. That's the moment everything changes. That's when you realize your brain is capable of thinking in English. It's not some mysterious talent that only natives have. It's a skill, and you just prove to yourself you can do it. Pause for a second. Think about one part of your daily life. Maybe it's your commute. Maybe it's work. Maybe it's talking to friends. What's one area where you could start thinking in English first? Comment below with your answer. I want to know. Now, I promised you a step-by-step method, so let's dive into the 3 stages of thinking in English. All right, stage 1. This is where everyone needs to start. Stage 1 is learning to think in English about what's happening right now, in this moment. Not the past, not the future, just the present. Why start here? Because the present moment is the easiest. There's no complex grammar. There's no need for past tense or future tense or conditionals. It's just, I am doing this right now. Here's exactly what you do. Right now, as you're listening to this podcast, start describing what you're doing in English in your head. I'm listening to a podcast. I'm sitting on a chair. I'm holding my phone. I'm learning English. Simple, right? Now do this constantly throughout your day. When you're making coffee, I'm making coffee. I'm pouring water. I'm waiting for it to brew. When you're walking, I'm walking to work. I'm crossing the street. It's a nice day. When you're eating, I'm eating lunch. This tastes good. I'm hungry. Notice something important. These are not complete formal sentences. This is how we actually think. We don't think, I am currently in the process of consuming my midday meal. We think, I'm eating lunch. Short, simple, natural. This technique is called narrating your life, and it's the fastest way to start thinking in English. At first, you'll have to force it. You'll think in your native language first, then translate. But keep doing it every single day, for every boring, routine activity. Within 2 weeks, you'll notice something. Occasionally, a thought will pop up in English first. Not often, just sometimes. When that happens, celebrate. That's your brain rewiring itself. Within a month, you'll be thinking in English about present activities automatically, without trying. Once you've mastered the present, we move to stage 2. But before I explain stage 2, I need to tell you about the one thing that will sabotage all of this if you're not careful. There's a specific type of thinking that keeps students trapped in translation mode forever, and most people don't even realize they're doing it. I'll explain what it is in just a moment, but first, let me give you some examples of present moment thinking that my students use every day to build this skill. Student 1. I practice while I'm cooking. I describe every step. I'm chopping onions. I'm heating the pan. I'm adding oil. It sounds silly, but it works. Student 2. I do it during my commute. I describe what I see. There's a red car. That building is tall. The bus is crowded. Simple stuff, but it's training my brain. Student 3. I narrate my work. I'm sending an email. I'm in a meeting. I'm tired. I need coffee. All day long, English thoughts. This works because you're creating real-time associations between experiences and English words. Your brain learns that I'm tired isn't a translation of your native language word for tired. It's just the thought itself directly in English. Okay, ready for stage 2? Stage 2 is more advanced, but you'll be ready for it once stage 1 becomes automatic. Stage 2 is thinking in English about past events and future plans. This is harder because now you need grammar. You need past tense. You need future forms. But here's the key. You don't need perfect grammar. You need functional grammar. Natives make grammar mistakes all the time when they're thinking. They don't care. They're not writing an essay. They're just thinking. So give yourself permission to think in English imperfectly. Here's how to practice stage 2. Every night before bed, review your day in English. Today I woke up late. I was tired. I went to work. I had a meeting. It was boring. I had lunch with my coworker. We talked about the project. After work, I went to the gym. I'm tired now. That's it. Nothing fancy. Just a simple review of your day in English. Notice I didn't say I woke up at 7:32 a.m. precisely.
I said, I woke up late. Thinking in English is not about precision. It's about expression. Once you can review your day comfortably, start planning your tomorrow in English. Tomorrow, I need to wake up early. I have a meeting at 9. I should prepare tonight. After work, I want to go home and relax. Again, simple, functional, natural. Here's where students get stuck. They try to think in English using advanced grammar they learned in textbooks. They try to think, had I known about the meeting earlier, I would have prepared more thoroughly. No one thinks like that, not even natives. We think, I wish I knew about the meeting earlier, I would have prepared better. Think in the English you can speak comfortably, not the English you think you should use. Right now, try this. Think about what you did yesterday. Describe it in English, in your head, just a few sentences. How did that feel? Easy? Hard? Comment and let me know. Stage 2 takes longer to master than Stage 1. Maybe 2 months, maybe 3. It depends on how much you practice. But here's what happens when you master it. You'll be able to have conversations about the past and future without that painful pause where you're translating. Someone asks, what did you do last weekend? And you just answer immediately, naturally. Someone asks, what are you doing tomorrow? And the answer is already in English in your head. Now we get to the final stage, Stage 3. This is where you become truly fluent in your thinking. Stage 3 is the hardest, but it's also the most rewarding. Stage 3 is thinking in English about abstract ideas, emotions, opinions, and complex thoughts. This is where you stop sounding like a beginner and start sounding like an advanced speaker. Because advanced English isn't about grammar, it's about expressing nuance. Instead of thinking, I am sad, you think, I feel disappointed. I thought it would be different. Instead of thinking, work is bad, you think, I'm frustrated with my job. I feel stuck. Instead of thinking, I want to learn English, you think, I'm determined to become fluent. It's important to me. See the difference? Abstract thinking requires emotional vocabulary and connecting phrases. Here's how you build this skill. Every week, choose one emotion or abstract concept and learn all the ways to express it in English. Let's take frustration. In your native language, you probably have 1 or 2 ways to say you're frustrated. In English, we have dozens. I'm frustrated. This is annoying. I'm fed up. I've had enough. This is driving me crazy. I'm at my wit's end. I'm so over this. Learn these variations. Then, when you feel frustrated, force yourself to think it in English using these phrases. Don't just think, I'm frustrated every time. Mix it up. Try different phrases. Feel the difference between them. I'm frustrated is general. I'm so over this has attitude. This is driving me crazy is more intense. By exploring the nuances in English, your brain starts to think in those nuances. You're not just translating the word frustrated anymore. You're feeling the emotion and expressing it directly in English with the exact shade of meaning you want. Once you can do this with emotions, move to opinions. Practice thinking your opinions in English. I think remote work is better than office work because you have more flexibility. I believe learning languages opens up opportunities. In my opinion, Consistency is more important than intensity when learning English. Have imaginary conversations in your head in English. Argue with yourself. Debate. Explain your reasoning. Should I study English tonight or watch TV? Well, I watched TV yesterday, so I should probably study. But I'm tired. Okay, compromise. I'll study for 30 minutes, then relax. When you can think through decisions, emotions, and abstract ideas in English, translation becomes impossible. You can't translate these thoughts because they originated in English. Stage 3 takes the longest. 6 months, maybe a year. It's ongoing. But every month, you'll notice you're thinking in English more and more about deeper, more complex topics. What's one emotion you feel often? How would you express it in English right now? Think about it. Practice it. All right, we've covered all 3 stages. Now I need to give you the maintenance plan. Because thinking in English isn't a destination, it's a habit you need to maintain. Here's the truth about thinking in English. It's easy to start, it's hard to maintain. Life gets busy. You forget to practice. You slip back into your native language.
You need a daily system that keeps you thinking in English automatically. Here's mine. Use it or adapt it to your life. Morning. Narrate your morning routine in English. 5 minutes. Commute. Describe what you see or listen to English content. 10 to 30 minutes. Work or study. Internal monologue in English when possible. Throughout the day. Evening. Review your day in English. 5 minutes. Before bed. Plan tomorrow in English. 5 minutes. That's it. Less than an hour of active practice spread throughout the day. But it keeps English active in your brain constantly. Change your phone language to English. This forces you to think in English every time you use your phone. Think in English when you're bored, waiting in line, on the bus, in the shower. Talk to yourself out loud in English when you're alone. This strengthens the connection between thinking and speaking. Some days you'll think in English naturally. Some days you'll slip back into translation. That's normal. Don't beat yourself up. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is progress. How do you know it's working? You'll notice you hesitate less when speaking. You'll catch yourself thinking in English without trying. You'll dream in English occasionally. You'll respond to questions faster. You'll feel more confident. These are the signs that your brain is rewiring, that translation is fading, that English is becoming a natural part of how you think. Let me wrap this up with the 3 key takeaways you need to remember. All right, let's bring this all together. Takeaway number 1. Translation is a habit, and habits can be changed. You're not stuck translating forever. Your brain is capable of thinking directly in English. You just need the right method. Takeaway number 2. Start small and expand. Don't try to think in English about everything at once. Start with the present moment. Master that. Then move to past and future. Then move to abstract and emotional thinking. Takeaway number 3. Consistency beats intensity. 5 minutes every day is better than 1 hour once a week. Make thinking in English a daily habit, not an occasional practice session. Here's your challenge, starting right now. For the next 7 days, commit to narrating one activity per day in English. Just one. Your morning routine, your commute, your workout, your cooking, whatever. Narrate it in your head in English every single day. By day 7, you will notice a difference. I guarantee it. Comment below and tell me, what activity will you narrate in English for the next 7 days? Hold yourself accountable. Share your commitment. You can do this. Thousands of my students have done this. Some of them started exactly where you are right now, translating everything, feeling slow and frustrated. And now they think in English naturally. They speak with confidence. They don't hesitate. That can be you. That will be you if you commit to this process. If you want more lessons like this, practical methods for real fluency, subscribe. I post new English lessons every week. Stop translating. Start thinking. Start living in English. Your fluent future starts with one thought. One English thought. Right now. Thank you for spending these 30 minutes with me. Now, go practice. Start narrating. Build the habit. You've got this.